Warner Brothers might finally be gearing up to bring Game of Thrones to the big screen. That's right, word on the street is that we're looking at a potential Game of Thrones movie. And here's what makes this so monumental. Warner Bros. And HBO are leaning into cross-pollinating their biggest fantasy properties. So what we're seeing isn't just another show or spin-off. This could be the chance to see the Seven Kingdoms and Dragons in all their glory in theaters. Now, we're still early in development. No director, no cast, no official script yet. But the fact that they're exploring this is massive. If you remember back in the day, the showrunners of the original series, David Benioff and Dan Weiss, actually wanted Game of Thrones to end with 3 feature films instead of its explosive final season on TV. And George R.R. Martin himself was all for it. But HBO had different plans, wanting to keep Game of Thrones firmly on the small screen. Well, things have shifted since then. The entertainment landscape is evolving, and so is HBO. Think about it. HBO and Warner Brothers have already blurred the line between TV and movies for some of their other hit franchises. We're getting the Penguin spin-off from The Batman on HBO. The Dune series is being reimagined for TV on Max. Harry Potter is coming back as a long-form TV series. And that's not even mentioning Warner Brothers developing new Lord of the Rings movies while Amazon rolls out the Rings of Power series. This idea that a major fantasy property has to be either a movie or a series is now outdated. So, honestly, it's not surprising that Game of Thrones might be the next big property to jump across mediums. HBO has also been building up its Game of Thrones universe, but so far it's all been on the small screen. House of the Dragon just wrapped its 2nd season, and it's been a massive hit. We've got a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms prequel series coming in 2025. There are even more projects in the pipeline, but there's one unexplored territory fans are itching for: stories set after the events of the original series. So far, everything has focused on prequels, looking at the history that led up to Game of Thrones. But could we finally see what happens after? With a movie in the works, it's possible. And for those who might be wondering, Game of Thrones actually has had limited theater showings before. HBO even screened some of its biggest episodes in select cinemas to drum up excitement. But imagine a full-length movie that dives deeper into Westeros, packed with epic battles, powerful alliances, and political backstabbing, all projected in full cinematic glory. The possibilities are endless. So, while it's early days, this might be the start of something incredible for Game of Thrones fans. We might be seeing the Iron Throne on the big screen soon. Let's keep our fingers crossed. It's happening. The first look at Cage's iconic Man Noir has dropped. Sony and Prime Video are teaming up to bring this gritty, crime-solving Spider-Man to the streaming world. If you're in the US, you can catch it on MGM+, and for the rest of the world, it's coming to Prime Video. Get your special sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good. In May, Amazon finally confirmed that Nicolas Cage is back as Man Noir. This will be his first time returning to the character since Into the Spider-Verse. He skipped across the Spider-Verse. And the first time he's back playing a Marvel character in live action since Ghost Rider in 2011. Sony's Spider-Man universe is now diving into the streaming scene with a slate of live-action series. Leading the pack is Spider-Noir, with Cage taking center stage once again. And get this, the first set photos and videos just leaked, giving us a taste of the noir aesthetic. We're talking tall, dark, and mysterious. Right now, the shots feature Cage's stunt double-perched on an old rusty car, ready to dish out justice. The look, pure steampunk Spider-Man/Batman vibes. Ski mask, goggles, combat boots, trench coat, and the iconic fedora. No spandex here, folks. Man Noir is all about that gritty throwback style. Who's behind the magic? Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who brought us into the Spider-Verse, are producing with Oren Uziel, writer of 22 Jump Street, on board as writer and co-showrunner alongside the Punisher's Steve Lightfoot. And for the first 2 episodes, we've got Harry Bradbeer from Fleabag fame directing. Buckle up, because Cage's Man Noir is shaping up to be the most intense version of Spider-Man we've seen yet. Marvel's 2025 Disney Plus lineup is officially here, and it's packed with 7 series bringing back old fan favorites and diving into fresh stories across the MCU. Let's jump right in with the big names and some can't-miss new characters. Get your special sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good. Starting strong, Daredevil Born Again drops on March 4th, bringing Matt Murdock back into the action. Charlie Cox returns as Daredevil, alongside Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin and Jon Bernthal's Punisher. This series isn't just another superhero romp. It's about gritty, high-stakes, street-level justice with Marvel's heaviest hitters. The hype is real. Then, on June 24th, Ironheart makes her debut as a lead, with Riri Williams continuing the story from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Played by Dominique Thorne, Riri's ready to bring her genius and her own Iron Man-style suit to the MCU. It's all about innovation, armor, and tackling new threats. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man premieres January 25th, bringing everyone's favorite web-slinger to Disney Plus in an animated style that's a nostalgic throwback to comic classics. It's a fresh series showing Spidey in his element, dealing with iconic villains, balancing life, and saving New York. Oh yeah, and Norman Osborn will be his mentor. August 6th, we dive into Eyes of Wakanda, a 4-part animated anthology produced by Ryan Coogler and directed by Todd Harris. This series explores Wakanda's history and heritage through epic warrior stories and vibranium artifacts. Each episode is expected to reveal more about Wakanda's past, offering fans a deeper look at what makes the nation so resilient and proud. Then there's Marvel Zombies, coming in October. Reimagining the MCU with a horror twist, this animated series brings back the terrifying undead heroes from What If. Think high-stakes survival, zombie-fied Avengers, and horror elements that are rare in the Marvel Universe. Finally, wrapping up 2025 in December, Wonder Man enters the scene, starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. Part of Marvel's new Spotlight series, which highlights more standalone, character-driven stories, Wonder Man will break the typical superhero mold and focus on a unique storyline. Lucasfilm just dropped a new official trailer for Star Wars: Skeleton Crew, and I have to admit, it's giving some serious Stranger Things vibes, or maybe more like The Goonies, but in space, with a galactic twist. This live-action series lands with a 2-episode premiere on Disney Plus this December 3rd, and it's looking like a throwback to classic 80s coming-of-age adventures, but in true Star Wars style. So, what's Skeleton Crew about? The story follows 4 kids who stumble upon something mysterious on their quiet home planet. But in classic Star Wars fashion, that something launches them into a whole new galaxy filled with strange planets, wild pirates, and more danger than they bargained for. Jude Law leads the cast as Jod Nana Wood, a Force user guiding these kids on their journey, alongside young actors Ravi Cabot-Conyers, Kiriana Crater, Robert Timothy Smith, and Ryan Kira Armstrong as Wim, KB, Neil, and Fern. Joining them are Kerry Condon, Tunde Adebimpe, and even Jaleel White playing a space pirate named Gunter. And Nick Frost is on board too, voicing the droid SM-33, so we've got a mix of talent in this series. One big promise Lucasfilm seems to be delivering on: more unique alien species. Fans have wanted to see more of Star Wars' wild alien diversity, and Skeleton Crew looks like it's giving us just that. John Watts, co-creator and showrunner, assures us that you don't need to be a die-hard fan to enjoy it. This series is set up so anyone can jump in and have a good time. I do not know if that is a good thing or not. I would rather have some die-hard nerdy lore stuff, but that's me. I feel like they are trying to bring in the younger kids, or even the Stranger Things fans, into the world of Star Wars. I personally do not have high hopes for this show. Not many good things have been heard from the behind the scenes, and not much from the trailer is a force that draws me in. Nonetheless, I will of course check it out, as it might still be okay. I just do not have high expectations. And why not click this video that YouTube themselves have recommended for just you? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It would mean a lot.